I want to add a disclaimer that I'm not siding any of the games mentioned. This is all based, in my opinion, regarding to all the events happened from the last 12 months with Paladins and Overwatch. Obviously, there's been a load of videos regarding to this subject, but I'm not someone who's going to be ranting and calling them clones because that's not the purpose of this video. I know there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me, but I should mention I have 2,600 hours on Overwatch, and Paladins I have 1,700 hours. And I both stream one of these games on my Twitch, link in description. Today is the 13th of January 2024, and this video might be posted a lot later because this is going to be a wild journey. After all these weeks and months thinking that I should make a video like this, led me into a debate whether I wanted to do it or not. After when I've been seeing all of these Overwatch 2 update announcements and everything else that has been going on since the launch of Overwatch 2, it just slowly and slowly decays. Overwatch 2 slowly decays into being less original. So they removed 6v6 because they couldn't figure the double barrier issue. They added a scoreboard, and characters are having reworks to fit in the 5v5 format. I want to get to the point of why I lost my patience and wanted to make this video. Well, this weekend, in Quick Play right now, there is an event called Hacked Quick Play, where basically everything is all chaotic, you get faster spawn times, everything else in general doesn't function the same as a regular quick play, just everything just goes really fast. So the objective time goes really fast when it reaches from 0 to 100%. But also, Paladins made this concept about a month ago, way before Overwatch announced any silly game modes happening to quick play. What's even more odd about this situation is that Paladins has released a mini game mode, which is technically just what is Overwatch doing right now, which is Fast Siege. Fast Siege is just when the objective times go a lot faster and you don't need to reach 4 points to just finish the game. And I was just like, There was an announcement on social media that's been spread across the internet, is that Aaron Keller decided to think it's a good idea in the next season where everyone gets the support passive of health regeneration after not taking damage. And I was like, oh, Paladins has it. However, you should not be shooting because it cancels the health regeneration. And the Sombra rework. She got reworked once again, but she was given this virus ability, which is a dot ability. But in Paladins, our Sombra is Sky. Sky has poison bolts that do dot damage. And she's always had dot damage since her release in 2015. Now Sombra has got Sky's poison bolts in 2023. And no one's even pointing out that two obvious stealth purple ladies have similar abilities. They released a new champion. When I saw him, just by looking at him, I didn't look at the trailer or anything. I just had a picture load up on my Facebook page, and I just looked at that, and I just know that this character is going to be the ROM of Overwatch. I bet he's able to heal himself, heal his teammates. He can run in and charge. He's got a big body and small head, just like ROM. But what makes him different compared to ROM is ROM only has one machine gun. Margot has 2. And I know what you're thinking. Well, in TF2, there's Heavy, so basically those two are copying Heavy. Well, you could say it that way, but I'm trying to exclude TF2 in this video and just focus exactly on those two games, because as I said before, Paladins and Overwatch are not original games? What about Bastion having Victor's ultimate? What about hero masteries? Why wasn't that introduced a lot earlier? Weapon customization, where it's always been a thing in Paladins. Why am I lecturing Overwatch 2 more than Paladins? Do I have favoritism in Paladins? No, I don't have favoritism in any both the games. In fact, I just said at the beginning, I am not siding with any of these two games. This is all about my perspective and how I feel behind all of this. I also want to talk about Overwatch 2's new game mode that has just came out a few months ago, and it's called Flashpoint. But before the announcement of Flashpoint, Paladins introduced a 5th anniversary event where they released a bunch of legacy maps that were never being played for years. They somehow removed them. But it was almost exactly like Flashpoint, except we're pushing the payload in different locations. So for instance, we have round 1, you have to capture the objective in the temple. And then round 2, you need to capture the objective in a different location of the map. So it could be near the ice cave. And the third one could be just outside the doorway. After capturing the objective, you then need to push the payload that spawns on top of the objective to its destination. And then eventually Paladins made smaller versions of this map, 3-in-1 map that I have no idea why they removed it in the first place. So it was literally one big map, just broken up into 3 maps. To be fair, I actually really love those maps very much. It's like one of my favorites, but I still don't understand why we still don't have these in custom games and such. A month later, Overwatch released Flashpoint, and when I just looked through the trailer before the gameplay even started, I just knew that this is going to be another Siege remix. What has been going on with those two games? Everything they do or plan to release to the public or make announcements, it feels like to me they have to do some requirements with each other, being like, oh, can I copy your homework? Oh sure, but please make it original. Or I'm releasing a Siege remix game mode in August and you can take inspiration from it, but just don't make it obvious. I am confident that any of the actions they do, they actually need to give each other permissions first, so they can release this content or announce anything to the public of any future changes. Like I believe Hi-Rez, Evil Mojo, and Blizzard contacting each other and discussing the agreements. And again, one of the reasons I made this video is because hardly anyone talks about this. Like, even in the Paladins community, they don't seem to notice the small bits of detail and information that, yeah, this has happened before, but in a different game. And this game is doing the exact same thing. They're doing their own version. Like with the Nyx and Ramatra situation, I don't really know which one's which, but either way, you can definitely tell that they are both alike, but their abilities are different, as the Aura for Ramatra is an ultimate, where Nyx's is a cooldown ability, and it does way less damage. Or you could say Kiriko and Io are alike because they both have a spirit fox. However, Io is a goddess, but also Kiriko has a goddess mythic skin that makes her look like Io if you pick this headpiece. You have Lifeweaver as Genos. They both got long white hair. Genos can lift enemies up in the air. Lifeweaver pulls his allies from danger. They both heal with their hands. In one of the Paladins PTS servers, I'm not really sure if this is true or not, someone managed to have the Oasis map in a Unreal Engine 3 format. There's also been speculation that Pharah and Reaper are going to get reworks, and I just kind of figure out that they're probably going to take some abilities from Paladins. They took Sky's Poison Bolt to Sombra. For Roadhog, he was more original this time because he didn't take anything from Makoa. And that's a plus. But I already can imagine what Pharah is going to have. Is she going to shoot all of her rockets at once as a 15-second cooldown? And Reaper? I personally don't know what's going to happen with Reaper. I'm thinking of Omen or Androxus. Who knows what could happen? Let's take a break from me lecturing Overwatch and now let's lecture Paladins. Back around late 2022, a new champion came out called Kasumi, and she killed Paladins because she was a horribly designed character where her kit was literally full auto aim, and even people who are blindfolded can literally get a team kill with her. You just press W and hold left click wherever you go. Even if you're not looking at the target, you're somehow still killing them. She was a character design failure. Then she got heavily nerfed, then resulted in her having at least a average 32% win rate. She was absolutely trash with the nerfs. You could not, you had to be very close to the target, and most of your attacks don't do anything, despite the animation plays where she stabs the doll and doesn't do any damage to the enemy. Then she got reworked into a flank, and she's somewhat better, but I still don't see her as she belongs in the flank category. But all I know for myself is that she is one of the failed characters to ever balance in Paladins, and that's why she got dumped into the flank category. Then you got the removal of splash art. This one doesn't seem to bother many people, but however, I have about 2 or 3 skins that I really liked the splash arts, and now I can't see many more. All you get to see now is just some screenshots of just lobby characters. It just makes the game look so cheap. Even some of the artwork doesn't make any sense, like characters blink in the scene, or some of them didn't get replacements but their pictures somehow look blurry. Hi-Res introduced a side feature where you can customize your loading screen using the recycled splash arts that you'll never see ever again. I thought it was interesting, but I don't understand why some of this very unique artwork is just being put down as a waste of rejection. I do understand you have budget reasons, but could you at least still kept them and then just only did it to the recent skins? If you look at some of the basic skins, they used to have a blue background at the back with a unique pose. So why can't we have that? Yeah, sure, I know it doesn't really have that much definition, but at least it looks like they have tried. When the developers thought it was a good idea to release crossplay into ranked, I mean forced crossplay in ranked, I didn't feel like it was a red flag until when I played some matches when I understand actually this is not acceptable. Of course, we are all discussing about aim assist and everything, but there's a reason why controller people have it, but it's just in Paladins, as not everything is very polished. Their aim assist is pure aimbot. And not to mention, there was a rumor that I haven't even tried myself. It's like a deep secret from the controller community, is the hitboxes on all characters are increased by 50%. So not only do you have very strong aim assist, but also characters' hitboxes are 50% more larger. So even if you're missing your shot, or if you're shooting someone at the stomach, it's considered as a headshot. You cannot really develop yourself going up to ranked when not everyone has the similar role as you. I've always said this all the time, in casual, you have the option to choose if you want crossplay on and off, but in ranked, you are forced to play crossplay or you're not going to play ranked at all. But I actually want high quality matches, and I don't even care if I'll wait 20 minutes for it. If I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, then I should be playing against mouse and keyboard players. If I'm a controller, I should be playing with controller players. But the fact is, this is forced in ranked. I don't find it acceptable. Obviously, the balance in Paladins is all over the place. There was keywords in supports, and some of them ended up being broken, such as Grover and Furia. They got nerfed, and then somehow they buffed Yin too much, and then they added a feature called True Healing, and that made Yin do massive healing. And then you just made Caspian broken, who was the worst flank in the game, who was over nerfed, and then became over buffed. That he was very dominant and hard to kill because he did high damage, he had high mobility, small stun on a short cooldown. Then you had Nara being broken for about 9 months because of Mother's Grace. In Overwatch, balance is very different than it was in Overwatch 1 because nowadays that they lock characters behind battle passes, they make them really broken to make people buy the battle pass. All the Overwatch 2 characters were broken at release, except Lifeweaver because he had like an identity crisis because he was just really underperforming, and even when you buffed him about 20 times, he was still underperforming. So they gave him more survivability and a lot more healing, which makes the support class even worse, but even stronger, as he was designed to be a heal bot, like Mercy you should say. He's more like a defense support rather than a offensive support, because he doesn't do high damage. And obviously, when an off-meta character becomes strong within like 2 days, they get instantly nerfed. But meanwhile, other characters like Anna have been meta for years, have only got a slap on the wrist, or get some buffs because Hog became meta. But even though Hog got massively nerfed and Anna got buffed, which she didn't even deserve to get buffed at all, and now they're reverting all of her buffs a whole year later when she clearly didn't need these buffs at all. Not to mention removing characters because there's a bug going on around with them. So roughly around the launch of Overwatch 2, Bastion and Mei got removed in different times for about approximately 2 to 3 weeks because there was something wrong with their kits, which could be abusable. But I want to talk about Mei specifically because she got removed because of Kiriko, because Kiriko is the one who is the problem and not Mei. So they literally removed Mei for no reason for 3 weeks. Then after when Mei came back for 3 weeks, the bug is still occurring where she can clip through maps if you put a Mei wall close to a certain wall, and Kiriko can clip through it with her teleport. But yeah, after when Mei came back, it still exists. So she got removed for no reason, but they rather keep Kiriko in because obviously everyone loves Kiriko. They don't care about Mei. Reused content. Paladins has been doing reused content. They've brought back maps, game modes that haven't been around from the past 5 years. I thought it was an interesting feature, but I feel like they should try a bit more harder trying to make games that they've never... I wish that they tried new game modes that they've never introduced before, rather than keep sticking to reused content. But in Overwatch, it slowly becomes to that meme of a drawing of a horse. It involves the mythic skins and the overall content of the game. I really don't believe Genji mythic skin took over a year to make. I refuse to believe it. There's no way that took 1 year. No way. The amount of money and all of this finance support, with all of this money Blizzard has received, there's no way this took over a year to make. No way. And as slowly as months go by and all the seasons go by, the mythic skins become low quality because they don't have enough customizable features. They don't really have like unique animations. It's overall just recolors and different weapon designs. If you look at the Genji one and then look at the Orisa one, you could just see the massive difference. Also, I want to talk about the shop. I know people are going to disagree with me, but the Overwatch 2 skins are actually really boring comparing to Paladins. It's literally just remodeled vanillas because they all have the same voice packs as their default skins. Like the only unique skins are Witch Mercy, that Ash Halloween skin, Anzo's Wolf skin, and all the other ones. Some of the skins have missed a lot of opportunities. So if you look at Mercy's Lifeguard skin, I'm surprised she never even says anything about heroes never drown. Plus, Mercy's wings and most of her skins are yellow, or they just don't match the theme of her outfit or the wings itself, which I don't understand how it could be hard to just change the skin palette. In Paladins, the skins are awesome. Every skin has a unique voice pack, and you can get them for about 800 crystals. Some you can even get for 400 crystals or 600 crystals. And not that it only comes with unique voice lines, it also comes with unique effects. You have a unique weapon that you could swap. So if you don't like this skin's weapon because it covers your screen too much, well, don't worry, you can swap it with something else. Technically, Paladins' skins are literally Overwatch 2's mythic skins. I personally miss Overwatch 1. I even miss Overwatch 1 when it used to be stale or wasn't getting any updates. I personally miss being in a duo with another tank where we both play Ryan Zarya. I miss the end screen cards. I miss Find a Group. And I miss loot boxes. And yes, I know loads of people saying loot boxes are unhealthy, but it doesn't hurt to just add them to battle passes only. Like, only make it exclusive to battle passes. I don't know why, because if people say it's like there's too much gambling involved, why not put it behind a battle pass? Replace these stupid souvenirs with loot boxes. Like, who even uses souvenirs? Like, the only souvenirs that are decent is the heart, the salt, or the pizza. That I've hardly seen throughout all my gameplays since the launch of Overwatch 2. I hardly see anyone use these. I'm seriously worried about Overwatch 2's future. I really am. After what happened with PvE, I don't understand why it's even called Overwatch 2 in the first place. I thought the PvE was the main reason why Overwatch 2 existed. Overwatch 2 is nothing but a monetization update. It's literally Overwatch 1, except they switched to 5v5 and they've got a shop with a battle pass. That's it. Oh yeah, and not to mention their ranking system. Their ranking system is awful. I have not played ranked since October 2021 because I just wasn't interested anymore. But I was thinking recently maybe I should come back to it, but I don't really know. I just wanted to try and see if I improved myself regarding to gameplay. I've been browsing through some random people's profiles and I noticed that in Overwatch 1, they have been stuck in gold for like 5 seasons. But in Season 3, Overwatch 2, they somehow reached GM. And they only played 2 games of support. Only 2 games, and they somehow went whooshing to GM. How? How is this possible? How can you rank up without playing 1 season? I know I don't have the evidence on my screen, but many people on Reddit have been talking about this. You would find YouTube content about this too. If your account's really old in Overwatch, you're more likely going to be put in a low rank. But if your account is new, like you recently just made an account, you rank up higher. So for instance, if you did your placements on your main account, you'll be placed around gold. With a fresh new account, you get placed in diamond. I really have no idea what is going on with the rank system. I really don't. I don't have experience with Overwatch 2 ranked, so I really don't have the full experience. But there is an amount of people who said that they have been deranked even though they won about 10 games in a row. It's crazy. Some people even lost 10 games in a row and somehow they ranked up a lot higher. During the launch of Overwatch 2, it has been an unorganized chaos. Not many of the characters were balanced for the 5v5 format, Some characters were underperforming in 5v5, or they were complicated to work around with. And then you have some characters like Anna who became very dominant in 5v5 with her anti-nades and sleep. And her anti-nades were on a 10-second cooldown and it lasted up to 3.5 seconds. Not to mention she does 70 damage with no fall off range. And the amount of people who say nerf Anna make anti-nade reduced 50% or 75%. It doesn't matter how many people in the whole world that say Anna needs nerfs, she will never get nerfed. She will only get breadcrumbs of nerf, which indicates the balance team have favoritism in Anna, but also Kiriko. Kiriko makes a lot of money, right? Obviously she does. Everyone loves Kiriko. And before people say anything, I hate Kiriko and Anna. No, I don't hate Kiriko and Anna. In fact, I do actually play them. But it's so obvious that they are broken. And Blizzard refuses to do anything about it. It's like the meta and everything is all dependent on those two characters. Then you have the two other characters which are balanced, which are Moira and Lucio. They've always been balanced. Of course, they both don't provide a lot of utility compared to the other supports, especially Moira. Moira has no utility, so she's supposed to maximize her value by doing a decent amount of damage, while replenishing her resources. I think I'm done here. This was my TED Talk, and I'll catch you all later.